Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to welcome all of you guys from New Tech and of course all of you here on YouTube for your guys' continued support.
We start things off from ground news. Poland beefs up security measures on border with Russia, Belarus. And we're going to read from the Bloomberg article here. The country has started setting up concrete and steel obstacles at the crossings as part of our defense and deterrence strategy, Blasiak said on Twitter. Poland's government has been among the most vocal in European Union and NATO and calling for a tough response against Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, as of this recording, it is Thursday, February the 23rd. And of course, tomorrow, February the 24th, will mark the one-year anniversary of the Russian special operation, as they call it, into Ukraine. Now, I have been keeping up with this nearly daily from individuals like Denny's, Speak the Truth, among others that I have been listening to this entire time to keep up with what's going on. Operator Starsky, for example, who's there as part of the National Guard, who is the reporter there for the National Guard there in Ukraine. So I've been keeping up with those guys, listening to their daily reports. But as of right now, of course, it's more of a stalemate. But things are starting to ramp up just a bit as Russia starts to build up its troops along those areas near Bakhmut. And as you can see here, Poland is also starting to gear up as well. And maybe even Belarus may be activated as part of or working with Russia as well. So we'll have to see what all happens with that. But things seem to be kind of ramping up just a bit there, although I'm not entirely sure what all can happen or will happen. As you know, Biden was there yet again for a visit, or for the first time, I should say. He visited Belarus, but or Ukraine, but also presented them with even more money. And of course, we have more weaponry and items and equipment heading their way. So things are getting very interesting in that region. But of course, I think part of it was just Biden doing a check on Ukraine, although a lot of people are not very happy about what happened, considering that we just had that incident in Ohio, and he seemed to just abandon the people there, not even sending FEMA there. And of course, Donald Trump recently just visited there as of yesterday on Wednesday, the 22nd. So of course, that's going to cause the Biden administration to now respond for the fact that Trump actually went there. But at least Trump made an effort to actually go there. Biden and Buttigieg did nothing. So as we see here from the Daily Mail, U.S. to quadruple military force on Taiwan. Pentagon will send troops to island to bolster defenses as tensions sour between Washington and Beijing, and after American general warned of a possible conflict by 2025. And as you know, we saw the response that China had after Nancy Pelosi showed up with live fire drills there for various days. I think it was about a total of about a week. So they really weren't very happy about her visit. And of course, they are still focusing on the fact that we shot down their balloon, as they said that they were going to respond with unspecified, or reply with an unspecified response. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. The U.S. is expected to quadruple the number of forces deployed to Taiwan in the coming months as tensions with Beijing continue to simmer. The Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday that the Pentagon plans to deploy between 100 and 200 troops to the self-ruled island, up from around 300 a year ago, or around 30 a year ago, which is very interesting because that's going to be at least a substantial number. That's something that China will be paying attention to. It will be very interesting. Service members from the Marines and the Special Forces have been sent to Taiwan in the past, and the number has fluctuated over the years. So just kind of a consolation there. It's just interesting to see what all is going on and what will be going on as the U.S. tends to kind of do a little bit of reinforcing and bolstering for some of these regions and areas. China's naval fleet is growing, and the U.S. can't keep up with the warship building as Beijing uses its sea power to project an increasingly aggressive military posture globally, Navy Secretary warns. Now, the thing you have to remember about China is they may have quantity, but it doesn't necessarily mean quality. So despite the fact that they may have more warships or other vehicles or crafts, doesn't necessarily mean that the quality of those vehicles are matching anything that U.S. has. The U.S. Secretary of the Navy has raised the alarm that China's naval fleet surpasses America's in number of ships and is growing faster than the U.S. has currently capacity to match. It is no secret that the People's Republic of China seeks to upend our dominance on the ocean across the globe, said Navy Secretary Carlos del Toro in remarks at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday. Del Toro said that the Chinese Navy has recently added over 100 combatants to its fleet, calling it naval buildup that is a key component of its increasingly aggressive military posture globally. And of course, Chinese have been doing this. They are very good at posturing. They love to poke the bear. They love to put out their chest. As we saw with the balloon, once it was shot down, they wanted everyone to perceive them as victims of American aggression for shooting down their spy balloon. But it encroached upon our country, and we already know what would happen if we sent anything near them. Not to mention, again, to reiterate, Nancy Pelosi simply visiting Taiwan was enough to set them off for over a week with live fire drills. So things are getting very interesting globally. And of course, we're still dealing with the economy here in the United States. And of course, the disaster there in Ohio, which is very unfortunate. I haven't really spoken a lot about that. It's been a very particular odd week. My nephews were here visiting, so I didn't have a lot of time to really get into a lot of the news. And there wasn't like a lot of majorly important news, kind of reiterations of previous stories and so forth. But of course, naturally, all of you guys have been supporting the channel amazingly, and the shorts have been tremendous here on the channel. So I do appreciate your guys' support across the board, particularly on long form. You guys have been amazing. So thanks for the likes, the shares, and the comments. And that's what I had for you guys on this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to, where you can see my daily post, as well as the Amazon link if you guys are Prime members or order frequently from Amazon. You guys can use that link, go to the landing page, and search for what you're looking for. And of course, it helps out the channel. Here in 2022, thank you for the likes, the shares, for those on New Tech, as well as here on YouTube, and appearing right there on the screen for all of you watching on YouTube. That would be the channel icon. You can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys right there behind that camera next week.